All right, let's talk about trying to predict the future for your business. For, well, forever, business forecasting has felt more like an art form, right? A mix of gut feelings, a little bit of past experience, but that's all changing and fast. Technology is basically giving businesses a superpower, the ability to turn all that guesswork into a real, measurable engine for growth. Let's get into how it works.
So if you run a business, I'm sure this hits home. You're constantly trying to guess what's coming next, and there's so much uncertainty. And you know the stakes? I mean, if you get it wrong, you're either sitting on a mountain of products you can't sell, or you're missing out on a huge opportunity because you just didn't have enough stock. Either way, it's a high-stakes game that can really hurt your bottom line.
So what's actually different now? Well, the entire playbook has been thrown out. You can see on the left, the old way was all about looking backward, wasn't it? You'd be staring at last year's spreadsheets, trusting your gut, and basically just reacting to big changes after they'd already happened. The new way, over on the right, is all about looking forward. It uses real data and predictive AI to not just react, but to actually anticipate change before it even happens. It's a total game changer.
And look, this shift isn't just some nice-to-have upgrade. It's absolutely critical. In today's market, relying on old data is like trying to drive a car by only looking in the rearview mirror. It just doesn't work. I mean, consumer tastes can change overnight, supply chains get disrupted all the time. The old methods just can't keep up with the speed of business today.
Okay, so at the heart of this whole new approach is something called predictive analytics. What makes this so powerful is that it completely changes the main question your business is asking. You stop asking, so what happened last quarter, and you start asking, okay, what's most likely going to happen next quarter? That little shift in perspective, well, it unlocks a ton of potential.
And this quote right here, it nails it. This isn't about having some magic crystal ball. It's about being prepared. Think about a retailer knowing almost exactly how much to stock for the holidays, or a factory timing its production perfectly so there's no waste. That's not magic. That's a serious competitive advantage.
So what's the engine driving all this incredible predictive power? You guessed it, it's artificial intelligence. You see, a person, or even a traditional spreadsheet model, can only juggle a few variables at a time. AI, on the other hand, is built for massive complexity. It can sift through absolute mountains of data and spot these hidden patterns that, honestly, no human could ever hope to see on their own.
And just take a look at the sheer scope of what we're talking about here. AI isn't just looking at your old sales numbers. It's connecting that data to customer behavior, to seasonal trends, to what the economy is doing, even to things you would never think matter, like weather patterns or tiny delays in the supply chain. It pulls it all together to create this stunningly accurate picture of what's coming down the pike.
And here is the single most important takeaway. This technology allows you to finally get ahead of the curve. With these kinds of insights, you're not just reacting to what the market throws at you anymore. You can actually start to shape demand with smarter pricing, perfectly timed marketing, and strategic new product launches. You're not just a passenger anymore. You're in the driver's seat.
All right, let's follow the money, because this technology's impact goes way beyond just inventory and supply chains. Getting your forecasting right pretty much revolutionizes every part of the business, especially your budget. It gives you the power to turn these data insights directly into dollars and cents.
It creates this really powerful, positive cycle. See, it all starts with way more accurate projections. Then, those projections let you make smarter decisions about your resources. Knowing exactly when to hire seasonal staff or where to put your marketing budget for the biggest bang. This leads to a much tighter, optimized budget. And what's the result of that? Healthier, more predictable profit margins.
And these are the results that every business owner dreams of, right? We're talking about fewer of those awful inventory surprises, which means less cash tied up in stuff that isn't selling. It means a much steadier, more predictable cash flow that you can actually count on. And when you add it all up, you just get a stronger, more efficient, and way more profitable business. It's really as simple as that.
Which brings us to a really important point. Adopting this kind of tech isn't just some small operational tweak. No way. It's a fundamental choice you make about the entire future of your company. It transforms forecasting from this thing you have to do into a strategic tool you get to use to actively drive growth.
And please, don't think for a second that this is some far-off, futuristic concept from a sci-fi movie. The future of forecasting is here. It's now. For any business that wants to compete today, this isn't a luxury anymore. It's a survival tool. The companies that embrace it are just going to be faster, smarter, and ultimately way more successful.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. In a world that is only getting faster and more competitive, is your business actively shaping its own future?
Or is it running the risk of being left in the past? The tools are out there. The choice is yours.